Listen, I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to give you some feel-good speech that makes you smile for a few minutes, and then you go right back to the same routine. I'm here to tell you the truth, and sometimes the truth cuts deep. Life don't hand you dreams. Life will test you, strip you down. And I always say it, and dare you to quit. And if you ain't ready to fight for what you want, it'll take everything from you. I learned a long time ago, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, and here's your breakthrough. You gotta hunt that thing down like your survival depends on it. Because in a way it does. See, everybody talks about wanting success. They say they got goals. But when the pressure comes, when it gets uncomfortable, when it costs too much time, too much energy, too much pain, most people fold. They treat their goals like they're extra, like they're a bonus. But I learned that if you treat your goals like they're optional, you'll live an optional life. You'll exist, but you won't live. You gotta move like failure ain't an option. You gotta wake up with that hunger in your gut. That feeling that if you don't make it happen, you won't breathe right. And I always say it, that's what keeps you grinding when the world's asleep. That's what makes you push when your body's tired, your mind's tired, and your emotions are screaming for you to stop. This ain't about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about obsession. This is about attacking your goals like your life depends on it, because the truth is, it does, so lock in. Because after today, and I always say it, you're never gonna look at your dreams the same way again. The first thing you gotta understand is this. And I always say it, nothing great is ever gonna come to you if you're not willing to go to war for it. I'm not talking about some casual effort. I'm talking about treating your goal like it's the last lifeboat on a sinking ship, and you either get in or you drown. That's the level of urgency you need to have if you're serious about winning. Too many people treat their dreams like a hobby. They put in effort when it's convenient, when they feel inspired, when everything lines up perfectly. But let me tell you something. Life's never gonna line up perfectly for you. The world doesn't care about your schedule, your mood, or your excuses while you're sitting there waiting for the right time. Someone else is out there putting in the work. They're gonna take what could have been yours. You gotta stop thinking you have time to waste. Time is the most valuable thing you've got, and once it's gone for good. Every day you wake up without moving toward your goal is a day you're letting slip into the past forever. And one day, you're gonna wake up and realize you're out of tomorrows. That's why you have to move with urgency now. Not next week, not next month, not when you feel ready. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, yeah, but you don't know what I've been through. You don't know how hard it's been. And you're right, I don't. But I do know this, if you're still breathing, you've still got a shot. I've seen people come back from the most hopeless situations, not because they had all the answers, but because they refused to quit. They made a decision to show up every single day like their life was on the line. And eventually, life had no choice but to give in to their persistence. That's the mindset you've got to have. You've got to be willing to put your back against the wall and say, I'm not leaving here without it. You've got to be willing to get uncomfortable, to sacrifice sleep, to say no to distractions, to walk away from the people who pull you down, even if they're people you care about. Because if your environment doesn't match your vision, you'll never reach it. You can't be half in and half out. You can't chase your goals with one hand while holding on to comfort with the other. Comfort will kill your dreams faster than failure ever will. Failure teaches you something. Comfort keeps you stuck in the same place until years pass and you realize nothing's changed. When I was coming up, I had to learn that lesson quick. Nobody was going to hand me anything. Nobody was going to feel sorry for me and open the door just because I wanted in. I had to break that door down. And you might have to do the same. You might have to push harder than anyone else around you. You might have to work when everyone else is asleep, when nobody is watching, when nobody's clapping for you, when it feels like nothing is happening. But let me tell you, something is happening. Every late night, every early morning, every sacrifice you make is building something inside you that can't be taken away. Discipline, resilience, hunger, and those are the things that are going to carry you when talent isn't enough, when luck isn't on your side, when the road gets dark. Some people think the fight is only on the outside, the competition, the obstacles, the people who doubt you. But the real fight is inside. The real fight is with your own laziness, your fear, your self-doubt. The real fight is the voice in your head that says, you can take a break, you can slow down, you can do it tomorrow. That voice is the enemy, and you have to kill it every single day. Every morning when you wake up, you're going to have a choice: be average or attack the day. Your future depends on it. Because it does. And don't get it twisted. The days you take off aren't neutral. They're costing you. They're moving you further from what you say you want. You want a better life. Prove it. Show me through your actions. Show me by how early you wake up, how hard you work, how much you're willing to learn, how much you're willing to sacrifice. Show me by how you keep going when it feels like it's not working. That's the test. And if you pass it, you'll get what you've been chasing, not because someone gave it to you, because you took it. And that's what you've got to decide right now. Are you going to wait for permission, or are you going to take what's yours? Because if you really believe your life depends on your goal, you won't be sitting around waiting. You'll be moving with urgency, with fire in your gut, with that relentless drive that makes people wonder how you're still going. You've got a choice today. Either let another day pass you by, or start attacking your goals like this is the only shot you'll ever get. Because for all you know, it is. You can't play offense without knowing the play. You can't go full speed towards something you haven't clearly defined. The problem with a lot of people is they say they want success, they say they want change, but when you ask them what that actually looks like, they freeze up. I just want to be better off. Better off how? Doing what? Living where? Making what kind of money? Surrounded by what kind of people? If you can't see it, you can't hit it. Period. You have to have a target that's so clear, so specific, that you could explain it to a stranger and they could picture it in their mind. If your goal is just, I want to be successful, that's not a goal, that's a vague wish. You can't wake up every day and attack something that's foggy. You need details. You need deadlines. You need a vision so sharp it cuts through every excuse that tries to sneak into your head. And here's the truth. That vision is going to have to be bigger than your fear, bigger than your fatigue, bigger than your current circumstances. If it's not, you'll quit. You'll find a reason to slow down. You'll say, it's not the right time, or maybe I'll try again next year. That's why so many people start with energy but finish with regret. They never got their why straight. Why has to be personal. It has to mean something deep to you, something that gets under your skin, something that burns in your chest when you think about it. It's not about what other people think you should want. It's about what you know you can't live without. If your why doesn't make you emotional, if it doesn't make you uncomfortable, if it doesn't scare you a little, it's not big enough. I've seen people work hard for a few weeks and then fade out because their goals were shallow. They wanted the result, but not the process. They wanted the applause, but not the grind. But the people who win, they lock in. They keep their eyes on the prize so tight that nothing else matters. Every setback becomes a stepping stone because they're locked on the destination, not the detour. And you've got to write it down. Don't just keep your goal in your head. That's where it gets lost in the noise of everything else in your life. Put it on paper. Put it on your wall. Put it somewhere you can't avoid seeing it every single day. Because when you see it every day, you remind yourself what you're fighting for. It's like a soldier keeping a picture of home in his pocket. It keeps him going through the war. When I was chasing my dreams, there were nights I didn't know how I was going to keep going. But I had a vision so vivid in my head that I could almost touch it. I could hear it, I could smell it, I could feel what it would be like when I got there. And that kept me moving. You have to make your dream that real to you. If it's just an idea, life will knock it right out of you. But if it's a living thing in your mind, you'll fight for it. And here's where most people get it twisted. They think setting a goal is enough. It's not. Setting a goal is just step one. After that, you've got to break it down into a plan. Big goals are built out of small, consistent moves. You can't climb a mountain in one leap, but you can take one step, then another, then another. And before you know it, you're standing on the summit. And I always say it. You need to know what you're doing today, what you're doing this week, what you're doing this month. And you have to be ruthless about it. If something doesn't line up with the mission, it's got to go. That means cutting out time, wasters, cutting out negative voices, cutting out habits that keep you stuck. Your goal has to become the filter you run every decision through. Does this move me closer, or does it push me further away? If it pushes you away, it's not an option. And let's talk about distractions. Because the closer you get to your goal, the more they're going to come. That's how life works. Opportunities will show up that look good, but have nothing to do with your mission. People will pop back into your life just when you're finding your rhythm. Comfort will start calling you, trying to lure you back into the life you're trying to leave. If you don't have a clear vision, you'll get pulled in 100 directions and end up nowhere. Your focus has to be locked in like a laser. You've got to wake up with that target in your mind and go to bed still thinking about it. You have to train yourself to ignore the noise and stay locked on what matters. Because let me tell you something, the people who get what they want out of life aren't the ones with the most talent. They're the ones who stay focused the longest. And there will be days you'll want to quit. Days you'll feel like you're not getting anywhere. That's when your clarity saves you. That's when knowing exactly what you want will remind you why you can't stop. You have to learn how to push through the boredom, through the fatigue, through the doubt. This isn't about hype. This is about building a lifestyle where every move you make is in the direction of that goal. Every day you're either building momentum or losing it. And the truth is, momentum is hard to get but easy to lose. You can't afford to take your foot off the gas just because you had a good week. A good week doesn't mean you've arrived. A good month doesn't mean you're done. You keep going until the vision in your head matches the reality you're living in. So right now, I'm asking you, what do you want? Not in some vague, I want to be happy kind of way. I'm talking about the kind of clarity where you can close your eyes and see every detail. Because until you have that, you're just wandering. But once you do, you're dangerous. Once you do, there's nothing that can stop you. Lock in, get clear, and then attack like your life depends on it. Once you've got clarity, once you've locked in on exactly what you want, the next step is where most people fold. The execution. You can have the clearest vision in the world, but if you're not willing to go all in, if you're not willing to bleed for it, fight for it, and show up every single day for it, it's not going to happen. And I'm not talking about showing up when you feel like it. I'm talking about showing up when you're tired, when you're broke, when your back's against the wall, and you've got nothing left in the tank. Everybody loves the dream until they meet the grind. The grind is where you find out who's serious and who's just talking. The grind doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care about your excuses, doesn't care how bad your day was. The grind is a test every single day, and it's asking you one question: how bad do you want it? You can't tiptoe into success. You can't knock politely and hope opportunity lets you in. You've got to kick the door down. You've got to move like you're not coming back without what you came for. This is where your mentality matters more than anything. It's not just skill. It's not just talent. It's willpower. It's that decision deep inside you that says, no matter what, I'm not quitting. And this is the part people underestimate: consistency. You can't hit it hard for a week and disappear for a month. You can't post one thing, make one call, take one step, and think the job's done. No, this is about stacking days, stacking weeks, stacking months, until your work becomes undeniable. You've got to treat every single day like it's a brick you're laying, and the goal is to build a wall so solid that nothing can tear it down. The people who win are the ones who understand that there's no finish line. Even when you hit your first goal, you set another one. Even when you level up, you keep climbing. You've got to fall in love with the process, because if you don't, you'll burn out the second you don't get instant results. And let's keep it real. There will be seasons when you feel invisible. You're working, you're grinding, you're putting in the hours, and nobody's clapping for you. Nobody's checking on you. Nobody's giving you that pat on the back. That's where a lot of people disappear. They think if nobody sees it, it doesn't matter. But those invisible seasons are where the foundation is built. That's where you're sharpening your skills, building your discipline, and earning the right to be seen. You've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Success lives outside your comfort zone. And if you keep running back to what's easy, you'll stay exactly where you are. Every day you need to do something that stretches you, something that forces you to grow. Comfort is a trap. It feels safe, but it kills your potential. And let me tell you something about pain. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is proof that you're pushing past your limits. Every rep that burns, every late night that drains you, every no. You hear when you're chasing a yes, that's part of the price. If you're scared of pain, you're scared of progress. The strongest people you've ever seen didn't get there by avoiding struggle. They got there by embracing it. You've also got to stop waiting for perfect conditions. If you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect setup, you'll be waiting forever. There is no perfect time. You make the time perfect by starting where you are with what you have and refusing to stop. Too many people waste years waiting for all the lights to turn green before they start driving. That's not how life works. You start moving and the lights change as you go. And don't get it twisted. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have days where nothing goes right. You're going to lose deals, lose money, lose people you thought would be with you forever. But that's not the end. The only way you lose for real is if you stop swinging. As long as you keep moving forward, even if it's slow, you're still in the fight. You've got to learn how to adjust without quitting. Maybe the plan changes, maybe the route gets blocked. Maybe you have to take a detour, but the destination stays the same. Too many people change the goal just because the road got rough. No, you keep the goal, you just change the strategy. This is war, and in war you don't stop just because it's hard. You push harder. You use everything you've got: your mind, your energy, your connections, your time. You attack your goal like you're on a countdown. Because the truth is, time is moving whether you do or not. Every day you waste is a day you can't get back. And here's the kicker. You have to be willing to outlast everybody else. Most people will quit. They'll get tired. They'll get discouraged. They'll get distracted. But if you can just keep showing up after they've stopped, you win by default. Sometimes it's not about being the fastest or the smartest. It's about being the last one still standing. And your life can change in 1 year if you lock in, go all out, and refuse to let up. But that year is going to demand everything from you. It's going to demand your focus, your discipline, your sacrifice. And if you're not ready to give it that, then don't expect to get what you're dreaming about. This is the truth most people don't want to hear. You can't casually chase something and expect to catch it. You've got to hunt it down. You've got to move like it's already yours, and you're just going to collect it. You've got to train your mind to see every challenge as proof that you're on the right track. So here's the bottom line. Once you've set your goal, once you've gotten crystal clear about what you want, you attack it with everything you've got. Not half-hearted, not when it's convenient. Every day, every night, every move. Aim straight at that target. You do it like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. Once you've been in the fight long enough, you start to realize something. Reaching the goal isn't the finish line. It's just the start of the next level. Too many people work like animals to get what they want. Then the second they taste it, they relax. They slow down. They start acting like the battle's over. That's when they lose it. That's when someone hungrier, someone who's been watching you from the shadows, comes and takes it right out of your hands. You can't just hit your target. You've got to defend it, grow it, and keep building on it like you're still trying to prove yourself. The truth is, momentum is everything. When you finally start winning, that's when you push even harder. Because you're not just playing to get ahead anymore. You're playing to stay ahead. And that's a whole different game. See, when you're chasing something, the pressure is on you to catch it. But when you've caught it, the pressure shifts. Now it's on you to protect it. And let me tell you, defending a position is harder than climbing to it. When you're hungry, you'll fight for every inch. When you're comfortable, you start letting inches slip away without noticing. You can't let comfort trick you into slowing down. Comfort will kill the very thing you fought so hard to build. People get a taste of success, and instead of sharpening the blade, they start showing it off. They stop training. They stop improving. And that's when the world catches up. I don't care how far ahead you think you are. There's always someone coming for your spot. If you don't believe that, just look at history. Every empire falls when it stops expanding. Every champion loses when they stop training like they're the underdog. You've got to have the same hunger on top as you did climbing up. That's the key. It's not about being satisfied. It's about being relentless. Every win should make you hungrier, not softer. Every goal you hit should make you raise the bar, not lower it. This is the part people don't like to hear, because it means there's no point where you make it and just coast for the rest of your life. There's always another mountain. There's always another fight. And if you think this is just about money or business, you're wrong. This is about who you are as a person. It's about building a mentality where you don't settle. You don't stop at good when great is possible. You don't stop at great and legendary is possible. You keep leveling up, because you know the second you stand still, life will pass you by. Now, don't mistake this for never appreciating what you have. Gratitude is important. You've got to be thankful for every blessing, every victory, every door that's open. But gratitude doesn't mean you stop moving. Gratitude should fuel your drive, not replace it. If you're truly thankful for what you've been given, you'll protect it, you'll multiply it, you'll honor it by going even further. Here's another thing. You can't just keep building for yourself. If you really want your success to last, you've got to start building for others. Legacy isn't just about what you achieve, it's about what you pass on. It's about creating something that still stands when you're gone. And that means teaching, mentoring, and leading so the people coming after you can keep the fire burning. Too many people hit a certain point and get selfish. They hoard their knowledge, their resources, their connections. But the truth is, the more you give, the stronger your position gets. And you've got to keep evolving. The way you got here isn't always the way you'll stay here. Times change. The game changes. Technology changes. People change. If you're not willing to adapt, you'll get left behind, no matter how great you once were. Staying relevant takes humility. It takes the willingness to learn new skills, try new approaches, and step into uncomfortable situations all over again. You can't be scared to reinvent yourself. Think about it. Every great fighter, every great artist, every great leader has had to evolve multiple times in their career. They didn't just stick to one formula forever. They took what worked, added something new, and kept growing. If you want longevity, you have to be a student forever. And let's be real, people will test you when you're on top. They'll doubt you, challenge you, and try to pull you down just to see if you're really as strong as you look. Don't let their energy pull you into stupid fights that waste your time. You've got to be strategic. Protect your peace. Focus your energy on moves that matter. The best revenge is staying untouchable. But none of this matters if you forget why you started. You've got to keep your why in front of you at all times. When you know why you're doing this, when you remember the struggle that put you here, you stay sharp, you stay humble, you stay dangerous. People who forget their why start making decisions based on ego, and ego will destroy everything you've built faster than any enemy could. So, the mission is simple. You attack your goals until you get them. And then you attack the responsibility of keeping them like your life depends on it. You keep climbing, keep growing, keep evolving, because this is the life you chose. You didn't come this far just to come this far. You didn't fight through everything you've fought through just to get here and stop. The world is watching, the clock is ticking, and the opportunities don't wait. So you lock in, you stay ready, and you keep moving like there's still everything to lose, because there is.